Hello everybody, welcome to Coffee Vlog, the show where I get on a comedian and we speak about comedy, movies and many other things. Today on the show we have Freya Mallard. I told you I was very awkward with... You're probably wondering where's the coffee? Because it's such a chilled out show. We have iced coffee.
That really looks like a sponsored move.
No, it wasn't. I'm gonna turn this so we can actually see ourselves. So that's how good. Yeah.
That's lovely.
There we go.
The narcissist in me is thrilled.
I don't know how good it's gonna be. I keep buying different coffees every single time for this.
Oh, it's very coconutty, but I just come around to them.
Yeah. Organic
so I'm
coconut
really thrilled.
milk.
This year I've come around to olives, coconut, and gin.
You never liked olives.
My palate wasn't developed enough. I really like vinegary stuff, but just this year, I'm so proud of myself.
I never used to like them either. It was like 3 years ago I started liking them.
Yeah, I think all I've got left to do is red wine, wine in general, and tomatoes.
Tomatoes. You don't like tomatoes?
Not by themselves. I couldn't bite into one. They're so bitter.
No, cherry tomatoes are very sweet.
I have this all the time. People are like, but try them. They're so sweet.
What about beef?
They're not.
Do you have beef tomatoes?
Beef
tomatoes is just
they're
beef.
the fat
yeah,
ones.
and when you can bite into them and just eat them like a normal thing, but they do. It's almost just savoury the thing, but I didn't think we'd be starting with talking about tomatoes, but
that's where I take
we have begun with that.
Mm-hmm.
I had a terrible joke question as well. How do you feel about mallards?
It's really funny. People.
Did anyone ever say that to you in school?
People get so excited about it as a nickname. They think oh, this is going to be this is absolutely rife for it. And all I've ever had is people go duck, duck, duck. I'm like,
that's it.
There's no joke in it. The comedian in me at 10 was like, well, where's the joke? Where's the punchline?
Come on, you got to write something better than that, guys.
Yeah. And yeah, so it never, and it didn't catch on, which is quite funny because most people, they're trying to get a nickname started to look cool. And then, people are trying to, bully me. I was like, it's not sticking, guys. You can't catch me.
So just trying with the duck stuff, but
no, it's just,
failing.
It's not funny though, is it? Because it's, yeah.
He didn't quack on. Sorry.
There we go. If you'd have been there, I'd have been with the counsellor every day.
So we'll start with how did you get into comedy?
I get to comedy. I just did acting at school, did the plays, and I'd always be I will be Ophelia. I will have a monologue. I will cry. It will be amazing. And I'd never get that. I'd be you are Weasel Gerald, and then it'd just be really fun. And then I wrote and directed a sketch show in sixth form. And it went really well. I did a bit of stand-up at the end. I didn't really call stand-up, I called it my thank you speech. But I did I was oh, I'd love to repay all the parents the petrol money if I could, but I don't want to. And first joke ever. And I did that, and then I didn't get into any of the drama schools I applied for. And I didn't really like them either. I was I don't really want to be doing Shakespeare for 3 years.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Most people I know have done the drama school, that's what it is. It's mostly Hamlet for some reason. That's most of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Just Hamlet.
So basic. You'd think no. Yeah, and then my mum was just go to the same uni as your best friend. So I was okay. So I looked up all the courses at Winchester Uni because that's where she was going. And there was a comedy production and performance course. And so I did that. And it was really bad.
Really bad?
It was really bad.
How come?
There were 10 of us on the course at the start, I think. And then
that's weird.
And then it dropped down in third year. I've just finished. It was 5. And I was the only girl.
What, people just dropping out?
Yeah, people realised it was bad quicker than me.
I
really wish I'd have cottoned on. But I was all the first year I really liked it because I was just drunk the whole time. And then second year we did a stand-up module, so I really enjoyed it because of that. And then by third year I was this is useless. And I was learning more from the stand-up than I was the actual course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just living in London, gigging all the time. And that's how you met me.
Yeah, I think the first time I met you was at Happy Laugh Cry.
Yeah. I came up to you after your set.
I just remember that was what...
You won the arcade game.
Yeah, I remember the most awkward me. I still feel bad for that. I remember you came over to talk to me and I was
just want to say, you're great.
And I was on the fruit machine.
You fully looked at me no.
And I was and then I remember you walked in and I was I could have just stopped playing the fruit machine. Why did... Why was I that rude? I'm not. It probably did come off very rude.
I
was
remember
like,
thinking.
Don't want to talk to you. I'm playing on the fruit machine
I remember
right now.
yeah, he's not good at that. I was like, but he means well, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm never good at conversations.
Such a good thing we're doing this though.
Well, I'm better at this, but if I'm, at gigs and people come over and like, oh, really enjoyed your set, I'm like, thanks, I appreciate that, and then.
Yeah, or it's worse when they don't.
Yeah.
It's worse when they walk out and no one makes eye contact with you. That's fun.
Oh, that's always my favourite. Everyone walks past.
Yeah, they're like.
Don't want to say anything to you. Just appalled by what you just did.
That's painful.
So
I'm drinking this like I am sponsored. Like,
yeah,
I'm like,
you got to hold it.
I've got to get
hold
through
it that way.
Mm.
So did you start doing it in 2017?
I was 19, so it's February 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been going for like a year and a half. Yeah.
And still enjoying it?
I am.
I said I'd ask that question. So.
I think it's nice, like the way it builds is because obviously you start on the open mic and you're just so excited to do 5 minutes and you have to bring someone. And then I think I went through like 2 weeks of just doing non-bringer 10s. And after that I was like, can't go back. So now I've just
that's the thing. I feel weird doing 5s now.
Yeah, and like, so I just elevated myself out of it, like, because I was like just bored of it. Like, my material probably hasn't gotten much better. I was just like, I'm not doing it anymore. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, because like when the gigs get funner.
Yeah.
And I think you like get more in tune with what your voice is, like your comic voice.
Even if it's a dead gig, I think you know how to somehow.
And you're like, it wasn't me.
It was the audience.
And then when like the bad gigs are rarer, you're like, it's a workshop. Great. All my friends are here.
There's 2 people as well, 2 audience members that have come down to watch the comedy.
Yeah.
But then people start making jokes about the comedians, and the audience members are like,
yeah.
we don't understand.
Starts doing like comedy collective inside jokes. They're like, what's happening? Who's?
I have to cut that out.
Just beep it so it's like.
Oh yeah, I will.
So no one knows.
Like if you've seen Kill Bill, they bleep out her name right until the sequel.
Really?
Uma Thurman keeps saying, I think it's Beatrix, her name, but they bleep it out through the whole film every single time she says it. That's how quirky Tarantino is.
Did you see like the thing around his new movie with Margot Robbie? And they were saying like she has no lines in it. So they've got this new film out with what's his face, Leo.
Yeah, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've said that because they've said about this, and then they've said about how in The Hateful Eight, I forgot what actress was in it, but how she pretty much for most of the film is getting beaten up by the guy in the film, even like getting a guitar smashed over. Like.
Yeah, he's a weird guy.
Yeah, very, very, very weird guy with the feet in all his films. You
what?
know that? You know that about
No.
Tarantino? Got a foot fetish. He's in the film Dusk Till Dawn, and in that I can't remember what actress it is, but has her put like his feet in his face and stuff at one point.
Oh.
And then if you look at his other films, Death Proof at one point has someone putting their feet out the window.
There's like
Kill Bill has her having to wiggle
Yeah.
your big toe, and it's just a proper close up of her feet.
I bet there's like YouTube things about this where
Yeah,
it's like just
definitely
cut
an essay
together.
of the foot fetish stuff of Tarantino.
And it's not even anything clever, it's just like he just fucking likes feet at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's very
It's
weird.
not some big meaningful thing. Yeah, fair enough, is what I expect.
So yeah, we've gone from the comedy.
Yeah.
I think did we speak enough about
Yeah,
that comedy?
too much.
You still aren't you carrying on with? So you did uni, but aren't you carrying on with another course now, or not?
No,
Weren't you looking at something to do that?
I was thinking about doing a masters, but I was being a real fraidy cat, you know, like. And now I've moved here, and I'm just like working in the day, and I've got my gigs in the evening. I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling like I'll give myself some time, like see if this goes well. See if I get some momentum. You know, I don't want to be too committed in the day, so we'll see.
Sounds good.
I'm trying to be nicer to me. Just a bit
Always
nicer.
always better.
Yeah.
Always better to do it instead of pushing yourself going carrying on with uni.
Yeah, I'm not a school person. Were you a school person?
I honestly did not like my 3 years of university.
No, yeah.
And even
It's so taboo though.
yeah,
People saying that.
I don't know. It's just everyone because they're not drinking and stuff. It was everyone else was going. I did go to freshers and stuff,
Yeah.
but it was still weird. I went to nightclubs and I was just like, this isn't. Well, I'm used to spend most of my time just in my room.
Yeah.
At uni. That was the one thing I sort of
Yeah,
liked.
Yeah, it's
Again?
antisocial. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're going to what's your top 3 movies? That's what we're going to now. The movies.
My top 3. Right, so number 1, Princess Bride. you seen it?
Yep.
Such a good film. So good. What are your like highlights scenes from it? Because there's so many like special scenes.
I haven't watched it in a long time, so I'm
gonna,
gonna,
I'm gonna refresh you. I'm gonna refresh you.
Refresh me. Andre the Giant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Andre. Yeah.
What does he say? It's like "Rah." He talks so. He talks like he has a clag in his throat like the whole film. I was like, they set him on fire to scare the guards, and he's just like, I don't know what he's saying. So weird. And he's like, he has to fight him at one point. I don't know. Weird film. Maybe I don't remember it that well.
Yeah, you're about to tell me all the highlights of it.
So obviously there's the poison scene. That's like the biggest one. Do you remember the poison
I haven't.
scene? Like,
yeah, I can't remember the last time I watched it. It was probably when I was a kid, I think.
It was like probably the first time in cinema where it's like my mind is blown. So like there's this. It's kind of like the whole point of the film is it's making fun of fairy tales.
Yeah.
So the guy's like trying to find the woman. I really don't know why he had... Oh, they're just dueling. I don't know. As you do. It was like, in Pokemon where they just meet and they're like, well, we have to fight. It was like that. So he comes up to me, he's like, oh, if you pick the one with the poison, then you can go. And then he like made him look away and then he swapped him. And then he starts laughing like, never mess with a Sicilian when death is on the line. Very, very iconic phrase. I'm not doing it justice. And then he... But then he drinks it and he knows he's got the poison in it and he's like, he basically was like, I took a course to become immune to poison. I don't know what the drug was, but and then the guy died. But it's just a really iconic scene. When I describe it sounds shit.
It sounds like something very different.
They just sat by a rock, but he just gets so wound up by the like, oh, I'm gonna beat you kind of thing, like, when really it's just like. He did the whole like, oh, a confident man would have put the poison in front of me and expected me to change it, but if a deceptive man would have think I would just leave it as it is and like that kind of stuff. So he outsmarted him. There were some eels. There's some eels in a boat. Oh, really good scene in it. There's a dream sequence where the prince, like the princess girl or whatever, she has to marry Prince Humperdinck, who's great. He voices Jack Skellington.
Okay.
The actor that played it. Random little fact for you. But she's marrying the prince to like go along with things to like make her life easy. She has this dream where she's like getting married to him, and then this old like crone comes up through the town and starts being like, boo, 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 and she's like, I'm sorry, I have to marry Prince Humperdinck. Like it's for the good of the kingdom. And she's like, Queen of Muck, Queen of Slime. So mean to her. It's so funny. It's like, you have a love. It's like, but he's dead. Oh, it's so good.
I think I do need to watch it again then.
It's so... I love those films where like, you watch them when you're younger. And they're so weird, but you just go along with it. Because you're like, this is how the world works. And then you remember it or you revisit it when you're older. And you're like, Jesus Christ, my parents were there. They were watching me watch this. And they were just okay with it. Like, I realised that recently with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Like, you remember all of it. You go, oh, Child Snatcher, that's kind of funny. But there's those two scenes where, like, they're in the cave because all the kids have been, like, they don't want them around. Yeah. So they put them in that cave, and then they just throw cabbages down a chute for them to eat, yeah. And then also there's that scene where the king and the queen, they run around and he's trying to kill her. It's like, you're my little chitty face, my da-da-da-da-da-da. And they're like dancing around, but he's like subtly like trying to find ways to murder her. I'm like, that was a kid's film.
Have you ever seen Robots with Rob Williams?
That's my favourite film. Okay. I have a highlight reel on my Instagram story of how much I love this film.
The thing about that is I watched it again recently. That is one
it's
film
so
that
much better.
I'm trying to think how it's on Blu-ray over there. But
you're a lucky man.
The one thing about that, when I watched it, it was after Ron Williams died, and there's just some really bleak parts in there.
Yeah.
He talks about how his roommate jumped out of the window.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about when he first starts taking pictures of them.
Yeah.
He starts talking about them being skinny like a model and stuff. And it's like, how was this a kid's
because
film?
It's
how
Robin Williams.
How are these jokes allowed to be in here?
Yeah, but I was watching it and like, do you know when you just need something like, I was at a Dylan Moran gig recently. He was playing like the O2.
Bringer.
And he did an impression of Alan Rickman and it was so spot on. Was it him or was it Joe Lycett? It was someone. And everyone in the audience, not only did they laugh, but they were like, oh, I needed that. And it was like, when I went back and watched this, and it was Robin Williams, and it wasn't like the genie in Aladdin, like everyone knows it really well. It was like this, like, and clearly he was riffing stuff. It was good.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh, I needed that. It was real good. But that is such a good film.
What is that? Is that in your top 3?
That would definitely be in my top 3. I went through a period last summer. I watched it every day. It's so good, and like there's so many little things in it. Like, so you know how he goes through the whole film and he's like talking about how close he is with his dad. Like he's always calling out like, "Hey Dad, like it's going good in Robot City," and I'm always like, "Where's your mum?" Like he never talks to his mum. I think that's so mean. He just ignores her.
It was I think it's DreamWorks that did that. I think so.
I think so.
Or maybe I'm getting.
Yeah, it's not the Pixar.
I'll have to look after.
Yeah, need those facts. Oh, it's such a good film.
What's your third film then? If it's The Princess Bride, robots.
Does it have to be funny?
It doesn't have to be funny. It could be anything that you like.
So mine would be Meet Me in St. Louis. So it's
one I haven't seen.
So it's one of the lesser known Judy Garland films.
Okay.
I think it was towards when she was like spiraling, but she was still like really beautiful in it. And it's just like, it's a real like classic film, you know, like Singing in the Rain, like it's really like that kind of style. But it, like the plot's just weird, but it's written really, it's like basically just like a film about a family, and about how like the 2 older girls want to get married and the 2 younger girls want to like go and rob people's houses, 'cause those times. But it's just written so well. Like they live with their grandpa, and they write. It's really good writing, which I didn't like appreciate until I was older. Like the whole opening scene is just that the older girl wants to take a phone call from a boy she likes, a long distance telephone call, and but they're gonna do it when the whole family sat down to dinner. So the other sister tries to rearrange dinner so it can be an hour earlier, so that the girl can have the phone call by herself, which is just like simple, but it's done so well. It's really great. And then the whole thing is just about how they live in St. Louis, but the dad gets offered another job, and it's going to be in New York, and it's just like the biggest deal. Like they're like, I don't want to live in stupid old New York. It's so good, and it's got like songs in it, and obviously it's Judy Garland, so it's just great. And my favourite scene in it is they have this house party, and of course there's like a band, and they're all like doing choreographed dances around the house because they've pushed all the furniture out of the way. And then the little girls creep down the stairs and they're like, we want to party too, which is weird. And so they're like, oh, what skits should we do? Because, you know, you've got to have skits with your brothers and sisters. I would like to keep that tradition going. And then she goes, my favourite line in all of TV is just like, I can do the cakewalk if Esther does it with me. I'm making it way more southern than it is. But it's just so funny. They were like, okay, we'll do the cakewalk. And they just do this like amazing choreographed dance. I'm definitely going to teach it to my sisters. I think party tricks need to come back. I'd need to have. I
didn't realise party tricks had.
Just like you have a bit, you know, partners who used to like do a little thing, like they do a dance and stuff like that. I think that'd be great at parties. I think it's what it needs.
So you're gonna learn that.
Yeah, because you get to that point in the evening where like a couple of people have gone home, you're kind of sitting on sofas. It's like, come on, let's do a turn about the room, like let's put on a show. And that's why I do comedy.
You got to bring it back now.
Yeah.
Make everyone push the furniture out in the living room.
Yeah.
Just start dancing.
Yeah.
You need to have a band in the house as well.
Mm.
So what's that one called?
There's a clump in this. I just got a clump.
I was reading coconut bits in your milk. That's just nature doing its thing. So you have to shake it a little bit because I kept on getting them while talking to you, and I was like, I'm not gonna.
Did you? They've got a demo in as well. That clump was disconcerting, man. What was I saying?
So what was that film called? Sorry.
Meet Me in St. Louis.
Meet Me in St. Louis. Okay. Yeah, because I never get. Did you get a bit again?
I powered through it though. Pretty pleasant.
I never watched Singing in the Rain until I was in university because I thought it wasn't going to be for me.
Yeah.
But I do really like Singing in the Rain. I do think it is a great film about
guys just
filmmaking.
have these massive gaps in their knowledge of films, like really weird. But like I haven't seen Kill Bill, but people look at me like, how could you not? But I did a bit. I tried it at uni where I come out and I say like a bit of a character bit where I'm like, oh, I'm dating my postman and he's a Nazi, and I'm Liesel from The Sound of Music. But all the guys were like, never seen that film. So like the reveal didn't work, but I was like, how could you not have seen that? It's such a cult like classic. See, Meet Me in St. Louis, not so much. To me it is, but yeah.
It is annoying when you do bits like that, and I once did a gig where I spoke about the film The Ring, the horror film.
Uh-huh.
I went right back to the 1998 Japanese one and did a whole 5-minute bit. And
Japanese cinema.
No one was on board for
but
that.
I think there's like room for stuff where it's like, even if people haven't heard about it, you can like bring it to them, or they'll relate in some way if you explain it properly, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Just gotta be talented at what you do. Which I am, so it's fine.
See, so top 3 was Meet Me in St.
Louis. Robots.
Robots.
So glad. You know when like it's your favourite and it literally just slips your mind?
Yeah.
The only other one I would say that's like another like emotionally one is I watch the Keira Knightley version of Pride and Prejudice. I really like. It's really good writing though. Everyone rags on it 'cause it's not the BBC one. I don't really like it. So I think Colin Firth's a bit of a wet Mr. Darcy. To be fair, the other one is as well. Mr. Darcy's just not a sexy guy, that's the point. But I really like it, it's really funny. And I went to like, the woman that wrote the screenplay, she did a talk at a festival I was at and it was just really great. So I urge everyone to read that screenplay, it's very good, very clever.
I haven't seen that one, haven't seen that Pride and Prejudice.
I think it's great, it's really funny. There's one scene in it where the girl goes like, I'm 27, I'm unmarried, I have no prospects, and I'm like a burden on my family, and everyone's like, same, me too. Oh yeah, and I'm frightened. That's like, me too. Oh yeah.
Are you still getting lumps in there?
Yeah. That's gross. But I feel like it's less concerning if I'm in control like this.
I kept getting them and I was just like, I had like 3 in here.
I like my meals to have, like depth.
They're all at the bottom of mine now. That's not good.
It's good though, any coffee's good coffee.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not. The last one I got was terrible. We had a mocha one. The last, and it was...
Do you always get them like in the packages?
I just get the cold ones. Yeah. Because when I normally I've made hot coffee before an episode and it's not too good at it.
Manoeuvring a mug is a big deal.
Yeah, so it's better to have.
The wrist strength.
Better to have these. And I should normally have a table because I probably would look better and more professional, but doesn't matter. So now we'll go on to the music. What's your favourite genre?
I like absolute trash. I really do. I only have I've got 2 playlists. They're called Happy and Sad because I have Happy, Sad and Dunno.
I thought we've got the same. I have Good, Lovely, and I can't remember what the other one was. Nice.
Yeah.
But Lovely is Lovely is death metal, so that's always good. But Nice is the slower stuff.
Yeah.
And Good is just rap music and stuff.
I'm either I'm having a great day, let's keep it going, or I'm like, oh, I'm teetering on a cry, let's go full cry. So
what's the sort of stuff then?
What, on Happy or Sad?
Go.
Right. So
what's the top one on Happy?
So on Happy, it's going to be A Lot of Girls Aloud. Or Sugar Babes, Freak Like Me.
Yep.
Duffy, Mercy.
What Sugar Babes? What one?
Oh.
Is it the new 3? Or
No!
Is it the old 3?
Point me in the direction of anybody that is a fan of the new 3 Sugar Babes.
Nah.
No.
When anyone talks about Sugar Babes and people still say, oh, I love the Sugar Babes now, so no. You weren't around for the original 3.
Yeah. Original 3, I was too young for that. Everyone knows the best ones. Heidi, Mutia, and the other one.
Since when you've just said them, they pop back in my head.
Yeah. I don't remember what the other one was called. But she was always the most talented apparently.
Yeah.
She was in the band for the longest, so good for her for at least sticking it out that long.
But now it's not even the same.
No, I liked, I was so mad because Mutia was my favourite. So when she left and they replaced her with that other girl, and they came out with that song Caught Up in the Red Dress, or it's just called Red Dress, Caught Up in the Red Dress, I boycotted it. My 13-year-old self was like, nope, not doing it.
Just smash myself in the face.
You thought this was foolproof. A mug's too difficult. This is not. Just throw it on my face.
Yeah. So
I boycotted Red Dress. I wasn't gonna do it. It's a good song. But I really liked Freak Like Me, Round Round Baby Round Round, and Ugly. If I'm ugly, then so are you.
It's always
holding up a mirror to capitalism.
So Girls Aloud, Sugar Babes, and
Girls Aloud, Sugar Babes, and then just a couple rounders in there. I've recently put on Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride. You know the opening song for Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I love that phrase as well. I want to slip it into my stand-up somehow. I just want to be a Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride.
It's a very random name, but
it's good though. But it's such a good song. Yeah. So that's Unhappy, and then on Sad it's just the bleakest stuff. A lot of Lily Allen's new album, which is just depressing.
I haven't heard it. But
It's all very sad because she's sad right now, which makes me sad. Oh yeah, so Lily Allen will be on my happy one because it's all like LDN, fuck you, whoever, the fear, that kind of stuff. And then yeah, her new stuff because it's sad is on my sad playlist. So I'm happy to have her in every room. Happy to have her around. So yeah, it's music.
she's happy and sad.
Happy and sad. And on Dunno is like We Don't Talk Anymore by Charlie Puth. Oh, and Send Me On My Way. I mean, I don't have 2 songs on it. These are the ones I can remember. You know, Send Me On My Way. So, Send Me On My Way.
Okay, yeah.
You know, Send Me On My Way.
Yeah,
Send Me On My Way.
Yeah, when you do that bit, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
wasn't sure at first.
do you think of it from Matilda or Ice Age?
Matilda.
Really? I think Ice Age.
Ice Age. Well,
I was a big Ice Age fan.
But did you sit through up to number 4?
No.
The sequels?
Every-
Up to Collision Course?
No, everyone knows you opt out at like 3.
I remember sitting in the cinema for Collision Course and being like, why am I here? And then they're bringing out a new one soon.
It's like you're in a tired relationship. Like, why do I keep showing up for you?
Oh, yeah, I thought maybe I'll still enjoy it. It's the same when I went and saw. Did you ever see the film Turbo about the racing snails? I think one of them got hit by electricity or something and then became a racer.
No. Oh, do you know what I like? It's such a surprise when a kid's film is good. Like, I saw Zootopia. I love that film.
Zootopia is great. So
Zootopia.
I got the. I don't know if you can see the art. The art book is there.
Really?
So it's called. Yeah, it was called Zootropolis.
Yeah, but I think they changed it for America because they were too dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's Zootropolis in the UK, but Zootopia in America.
Yeah, Zootropolis is better. Yeah. Oh, such a good film. And what's another one? Coco.
Coco, yeah, Coco was great.
I watched that with my sister. Like, I was crying.
The old lady at the end.
Yeah, oh, it's just all of it, so much of it. And then my stepmom had a go at me like, it's about death, like, you're going to scare her. And I was like, but it's putting death in like the best way possible.
It wasn't meant to be scary, it was them just crossing over.
It helped me. It helped me process death.
But that's the thing, I don't know if did you see Big Hero 6?
No.
As well, in that.
Is that good too?
Yeah, but there's a whole part about grieving and depression in that, and I was like, this is a kid's film, like.
What are the next generation of kids going to be like?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we're just giving them so much good stuff. Like, what's it called? The other one when it's about emotions. You know, in Ryan's head.
Inside Out. Yeah.
They're just going to be so... I've got coffee on my legs, so we're doing well. These kids are going to be so well adjusted.
I don't know if you saw, it's a French film, but it came out, had English speaking on top of it, called My Life is a Courgette. And that was about a kid having to go into a foster home, but all about how kids were dealt with there. And that was
That's amazing.
kids film, but it was stop motion animation.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm
good.
literally like, these kids are going to be like...
It's surprising to see those type of films now. I'm guessing we sort of had Harry Potter, but not really. Like, Harry Potter wasn't...
Harry Potter was like our national counselling service.
He lost his parents, but it wasn't anything...
Yeah. I watch a lot of stuff about Harry Potter, like Super Carlin Brothers and stuff on YouTube, and they like delve into loads of stuff about it. And someone was like, you'd be emotionally traumatised if you grew up in a cupboard. Your spine would be bad.
There's points where he just gets up out of that cupboard and he's like, oh, the family's terrible in this house, but I'm fine with sleeping here. Because there is someone that made the actual, I think it must be in the Warner Brothers picture, where you can look at the stairs and see how big the actual room was. Oh. And it is tiny. Like what he was in.
Could he lie down properly?
You wouldn't be able to lie down in it properly, no.
So I mean, they're like, oh, they don't like magic and they don't like him because they're not his son. I'm like, this is emotional abuse. So, you know, and he had to like, I always resented that like he had to make their bacon in the morning. I was like, what a mean chore.
Did you see the terrible Fantastic Beasts?
No, I've opted out. I watched shut my mind off to it.
And then I got to the end of the first one, and then it was like, oh, the reveal is it's Johnny Depp. And I was like, oh, great, yeah, it's
That's
good.
A big
He's got a really good part in cinema right now. We really need him in films. And they were like, we're doing the sequel. Of course, the sequel's going to do bad if you got him as the villain in your film. No one wants to see a film with him.
No, because he's a real life villain.
Yeah, and then Pirates of the Caribbean as well. That did bad. The new one that got released with him in.
Is there another one?
Yeah, 5. Number 5. They're making a 6 as well now.
Still
carrying on with him and.
They need to hit it and quit it. They just stop churning these out. I suppose probably a lot of money. What's that like?
Yeah, but I think if you pay him, I think Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the second one did do quite badly because of having him in it, I think.
Yeah. What was the plot any good?
The plot of the first one was just you seeing all
Backstory.
the little creatures and stuff that were around it, but I think the second one was just finding out about more wizards that were out there, and Jude Law playing
I was gonna
Dumbledore.
say, I feel like
that's not a
I opted out when I saw Jude Law.
That is some bad casting there.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever what Dumbledore...
Yeah. Do you know what it is as well? He's so smug, because he's started receding here.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, I can play older parts now. That's what I'll do.
There's a lot of films where some action movies that he got put in as well, where you look at him now, and he does, I think one movie where he played a robot, but he had to do his, because of the receding, he pushed it all to the side to make it look like, oh look, it's meant to be part of my robot the way that I'm looking. Just realised the solar powered things up there have started.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to move them so they don't make... We've got a little... This witch.
Are they solar powered just to do that?
Yeah, they move. So
At least let them like power an iPhone or something.
And then we've got Wallace as well. I'll move them so they don't make any more.
There's a lot of them.
Actually, this is a really professional. I know you can tell. I've said music. I didn't pay for television. Do you watch much?
Do you watch television?
We'll do the television bit.
Television. I mean, I definitely do watch television. So I don't know, my mind's blanking.
What did your favourite movies, and have you got a favourite? Was there ever a favourite TV show?
Yeah, there must be. My mind's gone blank. Give me a mo to be unprofessional. I don't know. I got to think of as like recently. It's just like Fleabag, Killing Eve, but like that's so basic. I definitely like. Well, my favourite. Yeah, I think the thing that like really made an impact on me growing up was the Mighty Boosh. I went through that like phase of like, I don't know what it is when you're like, I don't know what age it is. I want to say like 15, 16 maybe, where you just want to like, basically I think be in a cult. Because you see something like Mighty Boosh and you're like, I want the badges, I want the bag, I want everything to do with this. And I remember I got into it a bit later than when it was like coming out at the time.
Yeah.
Like, it was all on DVD by the time I got into it. So like I missed the live tour. I just remember being like, my life is over. They've done the live tour. They're not going to do another one. Like, I will not live to see, happiness. Like, did you get into the Mighty Boosh at all?
Yeah, some stuff. Some of it I liked. I don't know. I found it's Noel Fielding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Found him a bit annoying.
Yeah.
Especially with him on Bake Off now.
Oh yeah.
I feel that he ruined it a tiny bit, but I think what it was, the surrealness of it, and the ideas that were there, do make it a fun show, and it was very creative for what it did.
Yeah. I look back on it fondly, but I don't think I could watch it now because I see like. I love him a lot. I love him like as a person and stuff. I love his art. I really like his art. But like he'll come out and do a set and be like, "Hello, you cheeky otters." I'm like, that's not a joke. That's just being cute, whimsical. But I'm not one to talk about just being whimsical on stage. To be fair, I get away with a lot of stuff through whimsy.
He did appear in a film recently, and he's meant to be a DJ in it. He appeared in the film The Festival. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
It was quite odd. He had an allergy to something at one point, and his face blew up. But that was his only role in it. I don't know what else he gets put in now, but
little cash jobs.
Yeah. So there's that Mighty Boosh. Just your favourite?
Yeah, TV. I mean, I didn't even sound like much of a fan of it. I was just really into it at the time. And then TV now. I can think of loads of stuff I haven't got into. Well, I hated that. Oh,
no, you got it.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
I mean, it's not really like a sitcom or anything, but it's episodic. So.
Were you happy with Evie winning it?
Yeah, I think she deserved to win. Although to be fair, I think they're going with this trope thing of like, they just go for the one that's the most like progressive a lot of the time. I think sometimes like just give it to the pageant queen. Like they work hard. I don't think Akira was necessarily the girl to like represent that. Probably should have been like Davenport. But I really liked Brooklyn. I think I don't know if she should have won. I think Evie should have won. But I hate...
Silky was in the final as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, but don't talk to me about Silky.
Yeah, I hated Silky.
Hated her so
and
much.
then when I saw people saying, "No, I like Silky," I was like, "No, right from the start."
No, yeah.
She came in and she was just, look at me.
It was the fact she kept being like, "America will love me." I'm like, that's a guaranteed way for people to not like you, babe.
My favourite is when she said in Untucked, she said that I can lip sync.
Oh,
the
yeah,
way
yeah.
that I'm gonna win
I
this,
was ready!
I can lip sync, and then you saw her lip syncing, and
It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
The most annoying was when Miley Cyrus came in and she started putting Miley Cyrus on
On
her
her
back
back.
and trying to do the centre of attention.
No, the best thing in the lip sync was she ran to the back thinking like she was going to do an Alyssa Edwards, like go to the back, like make it a really big deal. And she just like kind of climbed up on it and was like, I'm here. It was so awful. But yeah, I don't like Evie because you can tell she loves her laugh.
Really?
So you know Evie laughs like,
Yeah.
and she's like, oh, I'm being quirky. And everyone's like, oh, she's so quirky. But I'm like, she loves it. She eats it up. She's like, I'm so crazy with my laugh, like my ugly laugh. I hate that so much. I hate when people are really like into the fact they're like, I'm a bit zany, you know. I'm like, oh, but you love it. I feel like you should, if you're quirky, you should be embarrassed.
That's what we're always going to get with RuPaul though. And we've got a UK one coming soon.
Yeah, that's going to be so different because
Yeah.
I really like The Bachelor, and they brought The Bachelor to the UK. I just enjoy it for the like. It's disgusting, but I really like it.
Yeah,
It's something I really
yeah.
like. I watch The Bachelor a lot, and like The Bachelor in the US is amazing because like the girls over there, there'll be some conflict. Like the guy will go and like make out with another girl. She'll be like, I'm really sad that he made out with Marlon May because I really like him. And then they brought it to the UK, and he'd literally like. The Bachelor would tell another girl like, oh, I really like you, or he'd kiss her, and they'd be like, I'm fucking fuming, and like go over and be like, why the fuck do you think you can do that? And he's like, and the producers are clearly like, oh my god, why aren't they just doing what they're told, like the American girls? That's amazing. Love that.
That's always what's going to happen with the UK ones.
Yeah, so I'm thinking other queens going to be the same. I think the drama will be mad.
I don't know, I feel like the drag queens in America, the attitudes and the whole personalities are a lot bigger and different.
Yeah.
And I think with some drag queens in the UK, I think they have still got these big attitudes and stuff and personalities, but I feel like it's something completely separate than how it is in America.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see. Do you have any films you absolutely like think are dog shit and could just like... Yeah, because you keep posting about Ma. That horror movie.
Yeah, Ma was...
I want to see it. Just I love watching a bad film.
It's just one of those films where I was so glad that my cinema were on board with how shit it was.
Oh, were they?
That there was just like I'd normally get annoyed when people speaking in the cinema, but there would just be guys in the cinema that just burst out laughing and just be saying how shit it was to the screen.
That's so good.
I don't care because all of us in the cinema know how shit this film is.
No one's there like, I'm trying to enjoy this film.
So yeah, that was bad. The one that I would pull up Mall Cop 2. It's going to be the...
Well, you really thought that was going to be good?
No, I thought maybe they would have made it a bit better than the first one because I hated the first one as well.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I'll go to the cinema and see the second one because
Have they improved?
I'm going to love it.
Did they get my notes?
Same with Sex and the City too. I was like...
Yes, they should have just stopped.
I was like, I'll go and see the second one in the cinema. I remember being sat in the cinema.
Like, no.
And the people in the cinema were really excited for it.
Yeah.
I went to a cinema where it was a lot of just middle-aged women that were really on board.
I believe you.
And I was like, this isn't even... They're not in the city. They go on they go on holiday.
What's it called? Not to Dubai. To
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. They go there. This isn't...
It's so unnecessary.
What's his name? Big or whatever his name is.
The whole lesson is like,
there.
Big's watching too much TV.
And he's just he's producing a movie that is...
it's so bad.
I'm so glad when a third one got cancelled. They were going to make a third one.
Were they really?
It's just... Both films weren't the same women from the TV series.
No, definitely not. Like when Carrie just got with Aiden because he was there.
And
I was like, that's so random.
and they just made it the...
The first one's good though.
You like the first film?
Well, yeah, I like...
It's got its moments, but I hate it because it's not the same characters that I remember from the TV show.
Yeah, I guess so.
And it got made quite a while after... No, maybe it wasn't, because it was 1998,
I didn't
the
believe
TV show.
Steve would cheat on Miranda. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, they're just throwing that
no
stuff.
way, Jose.
That stuff that...
Yeah.
I feel like it had very different writers on the TV show, because I loved the TV show.
Yeah.
That was
Did you know Davina was like... I have like love-hate relationship with it because it's like, it's so great, but then it's like become a bit dated now.
Yeah,
Davina was telling me, good friend Davina Bentley, fellow comedian, she was saying, you know, Sarah Jessica Parker was like a fellow producer like on the show. I don't know if she said she like wrote lines or whatever. And then there will be lines like, oh, she was the most beautiful woman, blah, 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 blah. Like, she was amazing. She was that. So it's like, she was in on the room, like, writing, like, oh, she was so beautiful. Like, can you believe that? Or she'd always do she wears the flower all the time. She's always wearing those flowers. And whenever she laughs, she goes, and, like, screams. I hate that. Apart from that.
I don't know why there's one episode that always stays in my head when Carrie is getting with a guy who wants to piss on him.
Oh.
Do you remember that episode? I don't know why. That's always the episode that will stay in my mind. And she has to go and speak to the girls, being like, "Should I do it?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "If you like him," and then he's like getting in the shower in one of the episodes.
Oh, he was a politician.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a much older guy.
No, it's awful. He was a politician, and then he goes, "I want to pee on you," and then I think he says, "Oh, I don't want to be seen in public with you because you're a sex journalist." So then she writes a story in the paper like, "Oh, he wanted to piss on me," but that ruined his political career. I was like, that would not fly these days. That's really mean. Like, that's, what's it called? Basically, like, revenge porn.
Yeah.
Carrie! No, my favourite scene in it, I've watched it recently, I watched Best of Big, like, on YouTube, like, Best of Carrie and Big, even though I despise them as a couple because he's so irritating. And as the scene comes by, it's when she's dating the Russian guy, they're about to go to Paris. He comes by her house and is like, "Oh, come talk to me in my car." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry for the last time I was here, I freaked out." She's like, "You don't need to do that, like, I'm with someone, it's fine." And then he's like, "Why are you going to Paris?" And then she's like, "But what about you and me?" She goes, "You and I, nothing!" And she's like, "You cannot keep jerking me around." She's like, "So you can drive up and down this street all you want because I don't live here anymore." And it's just like, oh, it just got me. It's such a good scene. It's really well written. Very well acted. I'll give her that.
What is the people... I forgot what you call it. When people think something happened... Why am I forgetting what it's called?
Like...
Where you think it exists,
your perspective?
But it didn't exist. The Mandela effect.
Oh, yeah.
It's where people thought he'd died years ago, but then he was still alive. People, for some reason, thought that Sex in the City was called Sex in the City.
Oh. It's...
But if you go back to all the books,
yeah,
but if you go back to all the books, it was never called Sex in the. I don't know why. There's this whole thing that people believed. It's the whole Mandela. What do you think it was called?
Sex in the City.
You thought it was called Sex in the City.
Yeah.
No, it's Sex and the City.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound as good.
No, but it is Sex and the City.
But it's because it's like that little word in between. I think people changed it because Sex in the City is better.
But it's called Sex and the City.
I say it like you'd say it literally just as Sex in the City.
You've been saying it wrong the whole time.
Yeah.
And the City, which I didn't. Yeah,
No thanks.
Made a video of destroying a VHS of it at one time, and someone started commenting being like, "Why is this called Sex and the City? It's always been Sex in the City." It's like, nope, it's not. Look at the cover. Even if you go back to the books, it's still... I don't know where people ever got that from.
Was it books first?
Yeah, it's books first.
Who wrote the books?
I can't even remember. But,
someone who's very rich now.
well, I didn't think we'd go into speaking about Sex and the City. All this time you thought it was Sex in the City?
It makes sense. She's in the city.
Yeah, but no, it's Sex and the City.
She never talks about the city.
No.
No.
It's weird.
I couldn't help but wonder... Is it Sex and the City? Or Sex in the City?
So, I'm terrible at ending these, but how we normally end it is, have you got anything you want to recommend to people, anything you want to plug?
Well, I'll plug my Edinburgh show. I am in Edinburgh from the 31st of July to the 25th of August.
Oh, you're almost doing the whole month.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a month.
Yeah, that is a month, but I thought... Edinburgh finishes on the 31st of August, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we're not doing like the last couple of days.
So
Don't really know why.
Are you taking off any days, like how people do, or are you doing all of those days?
They're making us take like 2 days off. They were like,
off.
Pick what your days off you want to be. So we're doing that. And then we're in the Bothy with Gilded Balloon at Tollbooth Market every day 3 p.m. It's called Freya and Will in discussion with ABBA with our good friend Will Hitt. Who
I'll put the link for it down.
Yeah, please.
Down there.
Get well soon, Will. But some kind of fruit thing. And watch Robots, okay? Because you're gonna think you haven't seen it, and then when you're gonna watch it, you're gonna remember every scene, and it's gonna be very weird, and it's gonna be like as close to taking drugs as you can get.
So that's go and see Will and Freya with
in discussion with ABBA.
In discussion,
It's
I
a great
messed up the whole title there for you, even though you just said the title. But in discussion with ABBA, where did that come from?
We were like, ABBA, broad appeal. We'll get the gays in, we'll get the mums in, we'll get the kids in, we'll get the Swedes in, and then we'll just be like, they're not here. And it turns out everyone's really hyped up for ABBA. They show up and then they're real disappointed. So we're trying to work out some ABBA material, but Isn't that
Just
happening?
play their songs between jokes.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, do that. Thank you very much for being on this coffee vlog with lumpy lumpy coffee.
I'm gonna finish it.
But yeah, that's all from the coffee vlog today with my guest Freya Mallard. Go and see her Edinburgh show, and that's it. Thank you very much. Goodbye.